You know how IT people always feel they are not good with people? Yeah. I can tell, because I have been that IT person myself. Since I was 9 years old and the computer became my best friend, I used to key in instructions to the computer and tell it what to do, and it would just do what is expected to do. Yet, when I started doing the same with other people, they just didn't do what I was telling them to do. And what's wrong with them? I figured out that, well, that's the way things are. And as I learned more zeros and ones, I just went out from dealing with more people and became a better at dealing with computers. That helped me a lot in my career. I mean, being good at computers taught me how to solve problems better, and as I learned to solve problems even better and better, I progressed in my career through programming and became a project manager, helping organizations solve different problems in different domains. And at one point in my career, I became a leader to a team of project managers and software developers like me. Knowing that feedback is the breakfast of the champions and always getting feedback on how I can improve and be better, I brought a small suggestion box, anonymous one, and kept it in a public area in my office. I asked my team to start giving me feedback and suggestions for improvement. And at one day, I was opening this box and I started to read the feedback that my team was giving me. You are competing with us as if we are not working in the same team. And I was like, of course I'm not. I have to help you become better. What do you expect? I was reading several of the feedback that was implying that I am not performing well, but yet I knew that I had a very good track record of being a great project manager. And at that point, I was also blessed with a very amazing wife, 2 beautiful children. Yet, one day, it hit me. I am not the person that I wanted to be. I am not living my life the way I intend to be. I was communicating with others, yet my effect was nowhere near to my intent out of this communication. Being good at learning how to improve myself, I set on a new journey. I went to the east and to the west. I walked on fire with Tony Robbins. I learned from leadership gurus like Marshall Goldsmith. And I learned how to meditate. I dove with sharks, and I did a lot of things that takes me out of my comfort zone. And in all those techniques that I have been learning, there has always been a promise that that next tool and that next technique and that next model will teach you how to become better. And not only that, it will also work with every single person that you want to work with it. But that didn't quite sound right. Even when I tried it, it didn't happen that way. And I started to think, as I was transforming myself, but I started to think, is really there is a way or there is a model that can work and help every single person to become better? Every person whose light has dimmed to really shine back. And that's when I found it. It was the Shine transformational model. See, let me share with you a classic story about a man like yourselves who wanted to change the world. That man tried for 20 years. He campaigned, he talked with everyone, and he spent a lot of energy trying to change all the world around him. Yet he found it so daunting and so painful. He realized, okay, you know what? The world is very big. Let me focus on changing my country. And he went on and he campaigned and he invested a lot of his time and energy for another 20 years trying to change his country. And he felt it's so daunting, it's so hard. I'm not getting to what I want. Let me try to change my city. Then he went on for another 20 years, campaigning and talking to everyone he can meet in his own city, trying to change how his city is. Yet he told to himself, why is it that I am not getting to where I want? What's wrong with people? Then he decided to focus on changing his family, and he spent the last years of his life talking to every single person in his family and trying to have them change, but it was not getting to where he wanted. On his deathbed, it came to him, and he realized, if I only changed myself, I would have been a role model and inspiring to my family. And with their help, I could have changed my city. And with my city's help, we could have inspired and really made a change in our country. And who knows, maybe one day I could change the world. He took that realization on his deathbed. It was too late for him. Luckily, that realization came to me earlier in my life. In 2011, I realized I am not the leader that I wanted to be. And I realized that I am not the father or the husband that I wanted to be. I even realized I am not the friend or the community member that I really wanted to be. Within my journey of personal development, and that question always came to my head, is there really a way that can help every single person? And I realized that most human beings start to change looking on the surface for new strategies that will help them to change. And they would execute these strategies, and then they would go back after the strategies are not working exactly the way that they want. And they would look out for more strategies, and they would go back and find more and execute them and get the feedback and change their strategy and so on and so on. And I'm not saying that this is wrong. This is necessary, but it is not sufficient. It's not enough to get you to the change. But if you look at the SHINE model, you realize that on the surface, we have the strategy and execution. If we want to make a change on a deeper level, we have to look at something more important, at our psychology as human beings. At 40% of our psychology is made of our daily habits. And those habits are always triggered by a certain trigger. We do a certain behavior, and then we are expecting a certain reward. And the most strongest of rewards are those that fulfill an innate need in us, not only some reward. With changing of my habits and identifying what I want and what I need and really having a difference between those, I had a deep change. But I didn't change my core yet. And I realized that my core, my identity, is a set of beliefs about who I was, but more importantly, it's a set of beliefs about who am I going to be. And I worked on changing my own identity, on becoming a new person, the person that I really wanted to be, the person that can really inspire others and help them to transform and to shine, like I was shining myself. As I was going through my transformation journey, I changed from being a person who was really stressed at work, who was not the best husband, the best leader, the best father, or the best son, or the best brother, or the best person with influence in my community, to becoming better. And the good news is that it was not better as felt by me. It was better as I kept taking feedback from those around me, that I'm really changing, that I'm really improving. I wanted to test if that model can also help others and help them transform from being great project managers to extraordinary leaders. So I became a coach, worked with a lot of people, worked with my own team. Then I realized I can use coaching to work with others as well. And while working with others, the same feedback started to happen. People around them would tell them, wow, what's going on? Take my client Lisa. She came to me, she was very stressed. She was not clear about what she wanted to do in her life, not clear about what she wanted to do in regards to her relationships. I explained to her the Shine coaching model, and she said, yes, but truly, no one can change who he is. She started with me saying, I will settle for a deep change. I don't want a core change. Let's start. And in 2 months' time, she told me, thank you, Mahmoud. I really felt now I don't have that stress anymore. My relationships are really doing better. And my family members are telling me what's going on. You feel like a different person. And I am a new person. I really have a new identity. The thing is, we all want to change and change the world with us. But you are the change that you want to see in the world. By a show of hands, let me ask you, who here thinks they are the same person, that they were 6 months ago? Raise your hands. What about 1 year ago? What if you want to take charge of who you want to be in 6 months from today? Would you like to have that? What about taking charge of where you are 6 months from today? Please reach out to me at www.leadershipextra.com and let's talk about that. Let's talk about how you can really shine into this world. Thank you.